On our board is Steve Hibbert, who was CEO of Lonely Planet for about 9 years. Steve's great. Bill Gear, who founded travel.com.au and, as you know, was recently sold to What If, or just about. We've also got a couple of ex-Sabre people. Sabre's one of the airline booking systems, massive global organisations. How do we do it? I think people just get Travel Messenger. It makes sense to people. And I don't know, they just like me.
Okay. Let's talk about SMS technology, because it's changed a lot over the past few years when you can get picture messages and multimedia type messages. How has a change in SMS delivery helped your business? Because I remember when I first started using SMSs, depending on what kind of a phone I had, it was a one-line message. That's all I could use. So how has the technology changed to help?
It's funny, SMS per se really hasn't changed that much. There's been other types of messaging, as you say, picture messaging, or MMS as it's called. There's been a couple of things like WAP push SMSs, so as soon as you open the SMS, it opens up your browser. But essentially, SMS has stayed the same since the GSM standard was invented. Okay.
In what different ways do you expect to grow the business now, especially as technology changes going forward?
As I said, we're not really an SMS play, so we don't care whether it's iMode or 3G or what have you. What's key to this business that we have with our clients, significant access to Australian departures. In fact, about 75% of all Australian departures through our distribution we have access to. Okay,
and in terms of the product, is there anywhere in the world that it won't work?
Travel Messenger won't work in Japan or North Korea. They decided in the early days to build a different type of phone network, so American phones won't work there, UK phones won't work there, and Japanese phones won't work in Australia as well.
Your key market, who uses your product mainly? Is it your businessmen or your smaller consumers? And where to? What part of the world are they travelling to and accessing it the most?
Sure. Travel Messenger is split 50-50 between corporate travellers. It keeps them safe. All the OH&S sort of concerns of corporates sending their road warriors all over the world. So it's keeping them safe, it's keeping them in touch. It enables them to navigate the local culture. But leisure travellers enjoy it as well. There's even a currency converter on there as well.
You didn't start in business as per se, you started in a different type of business where you had something in common with Danny Minogue and Tina Arena almost, I guess. So you started in entertainment.
I did. I was a member of the Young Talent Team 82-83. I joined with Danny Minogue. And in my teens and 20s, I did musical theatre in Melbourne with Max Gillies and Keith Michelle, and in London, and even sang cheesy cabaret on a cruise ship in the Caribbean. But yeah, it's a great industry to be in, but I guess in my late 20s I went back and got a real job. I went back and did computer science and worked in the internet industry for 10 years.
At what point did you kind of decide, hey, let's try the business world? And how have I guess the lessons that you've learned in the entertainment industry been able to be translated into the world of well, I don't want to say real business, but in the world of business? Yeah,
it's funny. Mentors when I was very young in entertainment said, Mark, this is the entertainment business, and it's business. It's about a product. It's about marketing it. It's about selling it. It's about getting bums on seats, so to speak. It's very much a business. It's not all red carpet and champagne. So I think there was a fantastic grounding in commitment and discipline. Most people you'll find in musical theatre today have trained for 10 or 15 years to get there. I actually hope to do my PhD in a couple of years based on the management of highly talented creative people and how to motivate them and achieve a goal. If you look at a musical theatre at say at the Princess Theatre in Melbourne, you've got 30 people on stage, highly motivated, all coordinating to one goal, and it's quite an amazing thing.
And if I'm not wrong, you also had about 10 years' experience in the internet industry as well. And what kind of capacity?
I originally started off in market research and online analytics, a bit like you probably heard of Google Analytics these days, but it was an Australian company that did really well called Red Sheriff. I've worked in online media buying, media strategy, product development, and I guess it's all brought me, that sort of diverse experience has brought me here today.
Okay, and just before we move on to the top 10 in business questions, I guess, what would you say was the biggest change you've seen online which has changed the way people do business today?
Look, I think fundamentally there's lots of social phenomena like your Facebook and all that sort of thing. But fundamentally, I think the market is there now. We're probably at the late majority stage of internet adoption. And there was lots of crazy ideas in the dot-com boom, as you would know. But some of those ideas are now viable. There was the likes of D-Store, which were a big poster boys back then, but they ultimately failed because really the market wasn't there. It enables people to share opinions. Advocate groups can get together and affect change. Corporates have to engage with their customers in a different and an immersive way. For example, there's a